The Daily Wake Up. Visualize your future, behave in ways needed to create your future, execute your new behaviors to fulfill your mission. We are mission chasers. Good morning, gentlemen. This is John Vickers, owner of Explosive Performance Academy and creator of the Courageous Men program. We help men live their best lives when it comes to their fitness, their faith, their family, and their finances. And on today's episode of the Daily Wake Up, we're going to talk about feeling powerless in life or in a marriage. And I'm not just talking about you, I'm talking about things that like I've gone through in my life as well. So the big problem was like I was really struggling with everything, right? In all four of those categories. My fitness sucked. My faith and my confidence in myself sucked. My marriage and my relationship with my kids sucked. And my finances were even worse than everything else. Like, there was this point in my life, and I've talked about it a little bit before, where I had the car repossessed, I lost my gym, had to file for a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. Like, I just had no power. Like, there was nothing there. Like, I felt like everything was just crumbling upon me. It was just, everything was just falling apart, and just like the world was just crushing me and falling to the ground. I felt like I was the last thing in my life that I really needed to worry about. There was a point where like I just kind of felt like there was nothing that I could do that was right. Like when it came to my finances, like there was a point I was making money, but I wasn't paying myself shit. Like my business was making money, but I was worried about paying my employees. I was worried about paying rent. I was worried about paying bills, and everything was behind. Like literally everything. Cars, house, rent for the building. I think the only thing that I had that I was paying that was on time were my employees. And then for other programs that I was part of. And I just struggled with everything. Like my money was just like so fucked up, and it was just, I didn't know where anything was going. I had no control of anything that was happening in my life. Money was part of that. And then my wife was at home. My beautiful, amazing wife was at home with our 3 kids, all of them under 5 years old. Or maybe it was 6. All of them under 6 years old. She was doing everything for them. And then I would be on my way home, dinner wouldn't be made, so I'd have to pick up fast food. So I wasn't working out, and all of a sudden that affected my fitness in itself. Gained weight. I just lost confidence in myself. Like everything just fucking sucked. Like it all was like just shit. Like everything, all 4 of those phases of my life were just like horrible. And I know I'm not the only person that is like this, because I've spoken to other men and numerous other men that have gone through the same exact type of things. Not necessarily losing in all 4 parts of their life in that way, but at least one of those ways. Like a lot of times you'll get somebody that's making, like, crushing it in the money game. Like they're just financially, they're just well off, but their body's fucking just rotting. They're fat. Their wife isn't attracted to them. They're rarely having sex. Their kids don't care about them. Their kids, like, they pretty much just operate as a penny or as money bags, as a bank. The kids want something, they go buy it, and then all of a sudden they think everything's good. And deep down, like, these men are fucking struggling, just like I was struggling when I was in my situation. But the thing is, like, as a man, you have the ability to completely change this. You have this ability to become the absolute best version of yourself. Like, instead of just suffering with achy body, or just where you look in the mirror and you're like, oh fuck, man, like, I'm fat as shit. There's no way that my wife would wanna fuck me. Like, I have no confidence in myself, and my marriage just blows. Like, we're just friends. There's no connection. There's no real relationship. Like, there's a way for you to change this and to turn this around. Like, you can have a life where you're living in abundance rather than scarcity, where you're not getting anything, where you can actually live a life where, like, you look good. You look in the mirror and you're like, oh shit, like, I put in the work and I look good. I feel good. My body doesn't ache. Like, everything is working out well here. Where you're confident in yourself, like, you feel like you can go into any situation and you are going to come out a winner. Like, winners win. You feel like that every single time you go in a situation, like, you're going to win it. We're going to compete. I'm going to win. Like, you can feel that way. And then in your relationships, in your marriage, you can have a life where you and your wife have, like, this loving marriage, this connected marriage where there's intimacy, and you're just, everything's on fire. You're having sex, and it's not just her laying there and taking it. It's her, like, initiating and wanting it, and wanting you, and showing you that she does want you. And then your kids, like, just love you, and they're open, and they're communicating with you, and they're making everything, like, not perfect, because nothing's ever going to be perfect, but they're making it so life just works out well. You have this connection, you have this love, and this care, and this communication, and this intimacy where you are connected, and you feel like you can have conversations with your kid and they're talking to you. And then in business, where you're leading, you're making money, you're profitable, and do you have this ability to live this life where you can get everything that you want. But you have to, there are certain things that you have to do. There are certain steps that you have to do. For one, you have to stop being so reactive with everything. So you have to get grounded. You have to spend time where you're clear on your thoughts. If we're in this mental space where we're constantly just fighting and thinking, and we're in this reactive fight or flight mode, everything is going to be fight or flight. Everything is going to be reactive. We're not going to be proactive in creation. We're not going to be in our level of genius where we're actually able to dominate and to make things happen. Everything becomes reactive if we're not grounded. Anytime we hear something that we don't like from our wife, we react in a negative way. Or from our kids, we scream at them and we yell at them. You've got to become grounded. You've got to become proactive, less reactive, get out of fight or flight mode in your life. Then you also have to lead. You have to be a leader. You have to set boundaries and lead and be the person that will lead your wife and your family and your employees and your clients to become better versions of themselves. You set examples rather than following other things, other people, being told what to do. You are the leader. So you have to be grounded and you have to lead. Leaders lead, leaders win. Other people follow leaders. So when you can set that example and be a leader and be the fucking man, that's when things are going to change in your life. So for you, 2 things I want you to take out of this. As a man, it's time for you to get grounded. So spend some time every day just being grounded and finding some space in your mind where you can just sit there quietly and think through your thoughts. Get out of the reactivity. Just lay there in silence. Sit there in silence for 5, 10, 15 minutes. Create this mental space where you can make good decisions. And then number 2, become a leader. Lead. Be the person that leads other people by setting examples, by setting boundaries, by creating structure in your life, in your family's life, your employees' life, your clients' lives. Create structure. Be a leader. Be a fucking man. Be the man. Lead. We're in a generation now, we're in a time now where there's so much negativity around being a man and being masculine, toxic masculinity. No, like, we need masculine men in this world. If we don't have masculine men that lead, this country is going to collapse. This world is going to collapse. Take a stance, be a fucking man, and lead. Find your leadership qualities and lead your life and your family's life and your client's life and your observer's life. Be a leader. Now, if you need help when it comes to your body, you need to be led into creating a better body, I have a very simple solution. I created the Lean and Cut Men's Playbook so you can become lean and cut and feel confident in yourself because you're stronger, you look better, and you just become more confident. I want you to go to www.xpafoundations.com/Lean and Cut Men to get the Lean and Cut Men Playbook. So go to www.xpafoundations.com/Lean and Cut Men. Great talking to you today. Have a good one, and I'll be back tomorrow.